pretty much is going to be us talking about Xbox and what the heck is going on. Um, last last week we talked. There were still like the rumors of the third party thing. Are they going third party? Are they not? And all this stuff happening. So should I go in order or kind of move around?
You can move around however you feel
All right, all
comfortable.
right, all right. All right. So let's do Xbox first, right?
Okay.
So we've been talking about the rumors for weeks now, and when if you guys have listened to past episodes, you know how we feel about it. This weekend, that's when all started trickling down, and it all I think it all started when the layoffs happened. Microsoft hits 3 trillion, and that's when all this started, like kind of going on.
Yeah.
My and this is me, right? My thoughts about this originally were like something's happening like internally, and it seems to me like the Xbox guys, which to this point have been treated as their own separate entity in within Microsoft, like truly a separate entity when you have, you know, Phil Spencer being the CEO of Xbox, right? It's a separate entity,
Yeah.
but you can tell that they started clashing with corporate, and that's kind of how it all started, right? And then it all went downhill from there. Leaks started coming out over the weekend that not only Hi-Fi Rush, which again, if the rumors are true, which they're most likely are at this point,
Right.
if it comes out on PS5, I'll buy it day one. That's a game that I've
Wow.
been wanting to play for a long time. I'll buy that game.
Wow.
Straight up buy it. I don't need Game Pass for it. I'll buy it. Right.
Wow.
And I said it before. It's like that's a game that I really want to play. If it comes on PlayStation, I'll get it day one. There's no going around it. I just saw my camera flash. That was weird.
Yeah, that was
That was strange.
Xbox.
Hopefully, yeah, it's Xbox hacking my Windows computer right now, trying to avoid
Yeah, I'm on an Apple, man. I don't know what
prevent
you're
me.
talking
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You're Team Apple over there. You don't care.
about.
So, so again, going back the weekend, not only Hi-Fi Rush and other smaller games were coming out. Now there's rumors that Starfield is going to come out on PS5 after the release of the DLC, and then fans. The meltdown has been incredible. Like I've never seen anything like this. Like
Yeah.
this is like cult level meltdowns here going on. It's
Sheesh.
hey guys, you know what? I gotta be honest with you, right? And I would expect the same thing to happen if this would happen on PlayStation, right? It's like it's not only it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so the meltdown starts happening. Oh, what am I gonna do with an Xbox? And this thing's I should have gotten a PlayStation instead because now these things are gonna be over there. So that happened. Um, then a couple days ago, they rumors started coming out that Microsoft was weighing in on Indiana Jones coming out on PS5 as well. Not not only on Xbox as it was presented a couple of weeks ago when they had the developer
Hmm.
direct, right? And then oh no, okay, and then again fans going nuts. And then yesterday you had Gears of Wars coming to PS5. And then there's a job opening saying, yeah, we're working on the next Halo and we want to make this game be the best it could be on all platforms.
Ooh.
And so at this point, there's a DEF CON 5 in the Xbox community. Like fans are going crazy. Meltdowns are happening everywhere. Um, I don't know. Are you familiar with Crap Gamer reviews, Joe?
No.
No. Okay. So he's a pretty big Xbox YouTuber, pretty popular, right? He okay. Let me rephrase that. He is the Mike Zero of Xbox,
Okay, okay,
where
okay, okay.
every day Xbox does something that kills Sony, right? So it's the Kathleen Kennedy quits every week, but it's an Xbox. It's like Xbox did this
Okay,
thing,
okay.
Sony's done, right? Every day. And he posted a video, I think Monday, and I think he didn't post for a couple days because he posts every day. So
Wow.
you
He
could tell
knew.
that it's done. You know, it's I've been like I don't I watched a few of his videos here and there, but I've been following him since the Xbox One days. Like he was one of the
Oh,
big
wow.
ones. Yeah, like been
Almo-
kind of
10 years
following
ago.
here and there. Like I've been watching his videos here and there for over 10 years. he was one of those like wait for E3. He was one of the wait for E3 guys, right? Oh, wait for E3 and Crackdown 3. Wait for Crackdown 3. Let's wait for Scalebound and all this stuff that never happened. And you know, but just going back and my okay, I don't think that Xbox as a device is going away. If anything, I think that Xbox as a device is going to have a new lease on life. That said, say goodbye to your exclusives because they're gonna be everywhere.
Hmm,
Like there's no
hmm.
going around it. There's no going around it. Xbox is a platform holder and it's also a major publisher. And that's how they're going to operate. They're going to put everything on everything and they're still going to have their device with their ecosystem.
Okay.
I don't think that they're going away. There's rumors that got out today that 2026 they're going to have a new console and they're going to have two consoles. There's going to be one is going to be the a regular console, and the other one is going to be a Steam Deck type device. Like last week, we got a report that Sony's working on a proper handheld with like PS4 level specs. So, which at this point could be even higher than that. I think that both I think that both Sony and Microsoft saw what Nintendo did with the Switch, which, by the way, 139, almost 140 million Switch sold. Are you
Okay.
kidding me? That came out yesterday, that report. I think they saw how well the Switch is doing, and they also saw how well the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally are doing. And it's like, oh, maybe we do have the potential
Hmm.
to do something ourselves. Um, yeah, man. It's been quite the ride. Oh, by the way, a few hours ago, it was reported, and I have it up here, that the FTC is putting a hold on the merger, on the Activision merger. I don't know. You haven't heard about this, right?
No, no, no.
Because of the layoffs. Because they promised that they would keep operating as normal, and now they're laying off people.
Wow.
And they announced
Sheesh.
today that the Skylanders team at Activision is gone. Like the Toys to Life department that they had, department's gone. So now the FTC say, "Whoa, you told us that you're not gonna fire everyone. You were doing this to, and keep
Jeez. Trying to
business
protect
on."
jobs. Yep.
Yeah. So now there's a hold on this thing.
Wow.
Joe, what's happening, man?
The implosion is starting. Now, like when I say implosion, people instantly get really mad. Like you said, in context, this is not the end of Xbox. It's the end of an era. Is really what we're talking about. Business as usual has to shift and change. And you know what? I hope that this does work out for them. Actually, I think that in the here and now, they need to just try and make money, get revenue, And if that means that they have to share what they have, do that first before you try and shut down the whole Xbox games division. Which I'm not saying that they're on the brink of that by any means, but I'm just saying we saw a trajectory on where things were heading in a direction where the future is so uncertain for them as a brand. Like Microsoft's gonna be just fine as a company. Like you said, a multi-trillion-dollar business, but when you start looking at just the Xbox side, it is not profitable. There's enough conversations around
Well,
them being in the negative,
I,
etc.
the uh, the console sales are not profitable.
Console sales
The
are not
games are.
profitable.
Yeah,
Game Pass, like that's
yeah.
fine. That's good.
It's to the point where it actually.
Right.
So like today there was that rumor that Game Pass was gonna rebrand. I don't know if you saw that one
Yeah,
into Microsoft Game Pass instead of Xbox Game Pass.
which would be smart.
Right, and that the I guess Xbox is actually making Microsoft more money, or the games division as they call it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not saying Xbox. They're calling
Okay,
it the
okay.
games division, right? So the games division is making them more money than Windows.
Mm.
And I think that they saw that, right? And it's like, oh, like we gotta take over this because this
Mhm.
is like a big revenue thing. What are we? Can we make it more? Can we make it make more money? And the way that you make it more money is putting the games on PlayStation and
Totally.
Nintendo. Yeah. So
Totally. Yeah, no, that's completely agreed to. I think that's absolutely the way they have to go, and I think they can. And um, I think this is just smart, like I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're in a survival mode, but like they're on a path that just did not seem healthy. And I like that they're trying something different that's not too drastic just yet. Now, they do also have that event that's coming up, Obed, too, right?
right. So Phil Spencer came out and said that they were going to have an event that was rumored to happen at the end of the month. They pushed it to next week, saying that they're going to have an event saying or explaining what the new business strategy was going to be. Right.
Like he said, like we hear you guys, and then like we're going, I'm like,
But
oh
he
snap,
didn't deny the claims. Like
did not deny
I
it.
would straight up say it's like, hey, these rumors that are happening are not true. Please wait
Right.
for us to give you an official word on it. Right? Now it's like, hey, yeah, we heard the rumors and we're gonna kind of confirm them
Let's
next
talk.
week.
Yep. No, I agreed. I
Right?
agreed.
Yeah.
They're gonna set it up quick.
That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like, oh no, they're gonna come out and say that it's not true. They would have come and said it out already.
Right. Right.
Like they would have already said it. So wow,
But
it's nuts.
Indiana Jones going to PS5, like that was huge because you and I praised that trailer,
Right.
that release, and we were like, this is a great moment for X. And then as someone else that I know that's a big Xbox person, I was like, hey, well, you think like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that actually was exclusive. Like they were super pumped.
Yeah.
And then like and not even that long, the energy just got drained out of that
Oh.
balloon.
Uh,
Well, not so fast. I might be playing that on my PS5.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's crazy. And again, I've seen. Okay. Again, I was there again though 3,000 years ago. Um, a lot of people are comparing this to Sega, right? It's not remotely even close to what happened
No,
to
no, no,
Sega,
no,
right?
no.
And you watched
Yeah,
documentaries
you
and
lived it.
whatnot.
I watched documentary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I lived there. You watched documentary. I did both.
nice,
so
nice.
so when I can't remember where I was when they announced that the Dreamcast was going to go away. I can't remember if I watched it on Tech TV, which would later become G4, or if I
Mhm.
read it on Yahoo back on when I was in college back then. I can't remember exactly where how I found out, and I was super bummed. But at the same time, I knew that that's what Sega needed to do. Like at that point, it's like you know what,
Yeah,
these guys are that they're and going back and saying that it's not the same scenario, right?
no,
Because like Sega was out of cash, like they
right.
had no money to operate. Like Microsoft has billions, if not trillions of dollars in cash. So it's not even remotely the same scenario.
Yeah,
what happened with the Dreamcast was very unfortunate, right? I love my Dreamcast. It's still back here, plugged in. I got my games, right? But it's not like like the PS2 was so crazy, and you can see it with the PS5, right? And like it's still like a hot product.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to Target and you don't see PS5s in stock, but they have a couple Xboxes. It's still
Right. Right.
it's like that. Um, and man, it's crazy. Like, but you can't really like that at that point. Sega needed to do whatever it needed to do to survive, and
Right.
they had to go third party. And not only third party because they were out of cash. The former Sega president then put like $50 million of his own money, and then he died
Yeah.
like 2 weeks later or something. and and even with that, Sega had to merge with Sammy, right, to be able to still operate.
Yeah.
Sega's doing really good right now. Like Sega's doing really
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Sega's doing now better than what they did when they were doing consoles. Like
See, that's
arguably
yeah.
they're bigger. They were hot back then, right? Back in the Genesis days, they were the hot thing, and Genesis was awesome. But they fumbled it so hard with like the 32X and the Saturn that it affected the longevity of the Dreamcast. If that would have been a whole different story if they would have been able to nail that landing, right? But it's not even remotely the same. Like, guys, this is not a Sega scenario. Microsoft, they're drowning in cash. They don't need to. They're not desperate. Now, what's concerning to me, Joel, I don't know if you saw that sales for the Series S and X to this point in their life cycle are actually lower than the Xbox One.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
With the Xbox One being what caused this whole entire problem to begin with, right?
Right. And I feel like what they have now is such a better product.
Totally. Absolutely.
That's shocking.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. I don't, you know, very, very strange.
Oh,
It
Flash
seems,
again.
I saw that. Yeah. Microsoft's hacking me, man. Um, there gotta be butting heads, dude.
Hmm.
Like Phil's got to be butting heads with Nadella or someone else like in the company or the CFO because the CFO was the one that said, "Hey, we got this gaming division that's doing a ton of money, and we're probably just gonna go ahead and take over and expand it." And that's probably what's happening. So I'm curious to see if Phil's gonna be there, like within
Yeah.
dude. Didn't I say that Phil was gonna leave? Like,
Dude, I said it
you
too.
said it
We
too.
both were like at the
Yeah,
same time talking about. It's like, look, I know this is not what people want to hear, but he
right.
needs to go in order for this thing to live.
But
Like, and he's done things for the industry. I know he's a fan, like all this stuff, but I'm sorry, like he's not getting them there.
I think he's well liked, and that's why,
Totally. Totally, yeah.
that's why his that he's still there because the fans like him, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't like a
He's
Don
a fan
Matrix.
guy.
It wasn't like a Don Matrix scenario where he was a corporate strongman and the fans
No.
hated him, right? So the only way you can turn around your brand is by like getting rid of that person and just making sure
Yeah.
that the right person was, which I think Phil at the time was the right person for the job, right?
Right.
But I think I fear that Phil's not gonna be there much longer, just because they're taking over, and it seems more like a corporate takeover more than anything. Um, if anything, I think it would be beneficial for the hardware standpoint because again going back to all this stuff that's been happening, the AMD thing. I don't know if you heard about that one.
Yeah.
That Microsoft didn't sign the agreement with AMD to for next gen, and Sony had done it months ago, and now the rumor is that they're going to be working with Intel for whatever their next device is going to be. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it's it's been a week, dude. and it's gonna keep being a week, and next week is gonna be one of the most toxic weeks in internet. What it's gonna be like Gamergate 2.0, dude.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
gonna be some toxic people out there. You know what? As someone that doesn't like, I don't partake on the console wars. I used to, right? Because
Oh, sure,
I'm
sure.
over it. I'm an old man. I don't have a need for this anymore.
Love it.
So, uh, but I'm just gonna be. I was gonna make some popcorn and watch this whole thing go down, and it's gonna be quite the event. But yeah, man, we'll definitely give you
Jeez.
guys posted. But anything else, sir, before we move on?
Yeah, no, I just want to go jump back to the point of like if they are not. I want to be clear. Like we're not trying to dunk on them. We're not saying that they're too far gone. This is not the end of the world. This is not us predicting the fall of Xbox. This is not. This is the change that's being made. They are on a trajectory that was not good. So this is a sign of them acknowledging changes are necessary. But man, how more it's hard in hindsight because like how obvious could it be some of the mistakes that led them to this point that like probably some other random fanboy could have walked in and fixed a lot of this stuff faster than these other guys if they would just be flexible to have these changes because you not having quality games that are exclusive, not having like the marketing of the Xbox One back in the day, like all these things that led them to this point, wherever PlayStation just kept running, steaming along, the lack of vision, the clouded futures, or we're like we don't really know what the future is for these people.
Right,
Like, what are they even trying to accomplish? Like, all those questions. So, yeah, it's not the end, but the trajectory's rough, and it's good to see them going in a way that acknowledges change is necessary. But I'll leave it at that.
right. We'll see what happens with that.